Hello again. I'm Professor Taylor, or you can call me Gilbert. Welcome back to my channel, Old School Jiu-Jitsu, where I cover the basic fundamentals of Jiu-Jitsu, self-defense, and really a good foundation. And whether you're a beginner, an average Jiu-Jitsu person, or even a person who's more seriously wants to refresh the fundamentals, I believe this channel is for everybody, especially the older people like myself who still want to do jiu-jitsu but really aren't into sport jiu-jitsu and all the fancy stuff. The fancy stuff is great, but like I said, this is focused more on the basic fundamentals. So with that being said, let's go into what we're doing today. So in my first video, I started with showing what you could do from a side control position if you were in side control with your opponent on their back. We went from there and I did different transitions and whatnot. So with that, I figured that I'm going to teach what if you were put in side control. And we'll show different escapes today and things like that. So with that being said, the first thing that I want to talk about is when you land on your back in a side control position. The first thing you need to worry about, if you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu or how to control yourself when you're on your back. So with that being said, I'm going to lay on my back and I'm going to show you what a lot of people who don't know anything about jiu-jitsu will do here. A lot of times they'll just lay it here and then put their legs straight out and they'll grab their opponent or their partner and just flail. They'll expend a lot of energy, they're not stabilized with any kind of base, and they're really in a bad position. So the first thing you want to do is get your feet underneath you, your legs like so, and if you have an opponent here and they got you in side control, you'll always want your elbows in, control your arms, and if you're not in an over-under, you want your hands here, close to you, almost like in a prayer position here. That way, if they try to control your arms, you're ready. So, with that, let's bring in our partner for today, which is Red Man. So, Red Man, meet my students, meet Red Man. All right, so here we go. The first one I'm going to teach you is, looks like you can see me, is a sweep from this position. Now, what you're going to do, like I'm underneath me, you start here in the over-under. Over the shoulder, under the armpit, here. From here, this hand that's over the shoulder, you can bring it to the inside of your partner's head and neck, and you're going to grasp their shoulder with your forearm across their neck. Now, from here, this hand here is going to go up and over your partner's shoulder, your legs. I'll get a face to the left, and you're going to scoot your hips inward towards your partner. As you scoot in, you're going to throw this hand over the shoulder, and it's like you're reaching here, reaching over, and at the same time, you both feet to push to your left. So you reach and push at the same time. And and you're controlling this arm, this arm here, this shoulder here, the inside. You want to grab the inside of the arm near the elbow as you go over. So ready, and you get a bump. Ready. So you bump to your left, scooting your hips inward towards your partner, and you go 1, 2, 3, go. Now, when you go over, you're going to land in a side control position. Now, this is more like a scarf hold sit out, but it's in addition where you're in control again. Okay, one more time. You got your partner has you in a side control position. You're an over under. This hand that's over the shoulder comes to the frames on the inside, grabbing the shoulder with the forearm across the person's neck. This hand here is going to go over here. But first you want to make sure both feet are close to each other. You scoot your hip into your partner. This hand here goes over the head. And as it goes over the head, you bump to your left. Holding this frame. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bump. And it goes right over into scarf hold, sit out, or side control. And side control, scarf hold, sit out position. That's the first one. Number 2. So, number 2 is what you call a backdoor escape from side control. And what that is basically is you start, feet underneath you, like so. You got your over under with the gable grip. This hand here over the shoulder comes to the inside, frames again. Framing the neck and grabbing the shoulder. This hand here, what you got to do is you're going to use this hand to go underneath your opponent. If you have to, and your opponent's really tight to you, you slightly bump them. As you bump them, you use this hand to go underneath, grab the inside, or should I say outside their back or lower back area, across their backside waist, and you're here. Now, if I'm here, what you gotta do, having your legs, your feet planted underneath you, you're gonna bump up again using this frame to help you push up and bump. And as you bump, you're bumping and you're pushing your opponent. Like it's like you're pushing them over you, and you're sliding the opposite way. You're sliding out the back door, if you will. So, on 3, 1, 2, 3, bump, slide, and you should slide right underneath your opponent and out the side of their body. So, one more time. You're here, feet underneath you. Use this hand here to frame to the inside, grabbing the shoulder, the forearm across the neck. Give them a slight bump to create a little distance. When you bump, use this hand, go on the inside, grabbing the waist on the back side of the opponent's back. When your feet planted firmly, bump again, and then you push them up, and you slide underneath. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, bump. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, the third and last one. So, this one's really going to set us up for next week, because we're going to work on actually having your partner inside your guard. So you start the same way, over under. You're in their side control. Now this time, you use this once again to frame to the inside, grab the shoulder and frame across the neck. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to hip out, which basically means you're going to, as you feel planted, you're going to move your hips, or hip rather, your left hip you're bump it to the left. So you kind of bring it up, bump it over to the left. And when you do that, that gives you a little bit of room here. With that room, you can slide your elbow and your arm inside your opponent, bring your elbow across the stomach, and your wrist should land on the hip, okay? From here, if you can't quite get your knee in just yet, you're gonna bump one more time and push slightly on the hip. So you bump over with your hip, using your feet here, create a little more space. Now you're here. This knee should be on the inside at this point, keeping your head here on the shoulder. Now from here, you can use the outside leg to push on the ground and use this to push downward. So you push one more time, boom. And what this does, creates a little more space, and you're bringing your opponent into your guard. And this is what you call a closed guard. One more time. So you're here. You're in the over-under position here. This outside arm here comes to the inside, frame, grab the shoulder, frame the forearm across the neck. You use this outside leg, plant it really nicely with both feet underneath you. You push this up and kind of bump slightly to your left, sliding this inside arm across the stomach, elbow across the stomach. The wrist should be close to your partner's hip. And from here, you're going to push here, and you're going to use that outside foot planted to slide your hip one more time out, slide this knee across. If you can get across this point, great. If you can't, push down and then use your outside foot to create a little more space as you're sliding it across your opponent's torso, like so. And once you do that, that's creating enough space to bring them into your guard, close your guard. Both hands be behind your opponent's head, right around the neck area. Pull them in, elbows in tight, and we'll stop right here. And now your opponent is in your closed guard. So, with that was 3 escapes from side control this week, and hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you got something out of them. And if you did, gently hit that like. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe. And I'll see you next week.